You won't believe this. Little Zen has lived here for decades, and today he finally brings his buddy to his secret favorite hot spring. When he sees the massive hot spring, he's as excited as a kid. Later, Froggy Bro shows up with his gang for some fun. Thinking we're all monsters, nothing could go wrong, Little Zen was pleasantly surprised to see his friends. Still, Little Zen played the gracious host because they were all Froggy Bro's roommates. Living together is way more fun. Just then, Xiao woke up from maybe it was the warm atmosphere, but Xiao started sharing her sob story. Mom passed away, and Dad ditched her. The monsters listened, feeling sad like they just heard a puppy's heartbreak. The monsters got even sadder than she was and promised to support her. For the first time, Xiao felt the warmth of genuine comfort from friends. Meanwhile, Little Zen had a blank expression, and the next day she called out Xiao's lies. You weren't even ditched by Dad, and you're fishing. Xiao countered. You don't understand. As a country-raised cat demon, how do I know family matters? Dad breaking his promise is abandoning me. After that, Xiao stormed off, leaving Little Zen speechless. A few days later, Little Zen surprisingly saw Froggy Bro at the golf course. Turns out they are all working there to earn some extra cash for Xiao. Then, they bought fruits and veggies with the leftover money, while the old lady held Little Zen, dreaming of a lottery ticket. The kind actions displayed in adorably naive innocence, while Little Zen seemed precisely like a cunning old fox. Later, Grandpa told him Xiao was missing, and he was ready to go to Tokyo alone. But while checking the navigation, he accidentally fell into a pit classic. In a dream, he recalled the happiest moments, but Mom's untimely passing smashed their harmony to pieces. Afterward, home life fell apart. Dad wrapped up debts and dropped out of school way too soon. All the struggles fell on Xiao, making her feel out of place. Thankfully, the digging-loving Froggy guy found him. Maybe he didn't expect his pointless hobby could save Xiao's life. Meanwhile, Little Zen caught a faint scent of Xiao and started eagerly searching every corner around. But after yesterday's drama, Xiao clearly wasn't too welcoming. Little Zen was here by Grandpa's orders to convince her. Xiao firmly stated she wouldn't go home unless they lent her money to get to Tokyo. Seeing Xiao's determined gaze, Little Zen began to ponder. The next day, Xiao went to Tokyo as wished. Grandpa, fearing accidents, sent Little Zen to protect her. Arriving in Tokyo for the first time, Little Zen's eyes widened in amazement. He had never seen such towering buildings before. Then they reached Xiao's home, plastered with her dad's debts just as Xiao suspected. It was evident that Mother had never come back, further intensifying her sense of being utterly abandoned by Dad. He knelt before his mother's spirit tablet, filled with regret and self-reproach for missing the anniversary of her passing. Following him to the memorial site, Little Zen realized Xiao couldn't even pay respect without a renewal fee. Disappointment made Xiao pessimistic. She pushed Little Zen away for solitude. Little Zen reluctantly complied, but then Xiao headed to her tutoring class. She was waiting for the boy she promised herself to, realizing Xiao hadn't been to class in ages. Turns out they promised to marry in some child-friendly land without adults. Xiao was eager to make that dream a reality. But the boy was shocked that Xiao actually believed those silly jokes and started growing distant. He completely disregarded the questions raised by Xiao, paying her no heed at all, and the ones he has promised gradually got buried deep in the corner of his memory. Xiao felt his indifference. Maybe she wanted to save face, so she quietly apologized to him. Then, after grabbing some cotton candy, Little Zen spotted the god of poverty, and guess who was on the menu? That's right, Xiao. Little Zen rushed over and found out she was reluctant to leave, so he pulled her aside for a chat. But Xiao didn't know what was happening. Little Zen took her to a hidden place, insisting she leave. Subsequently, Little Zen was preparing himself for yet another intense round of a man-to-man confrontation. But the god of poverty refused this time. Seeing no other way, Little Zen had to go tough. When she heard Little Zen's words, the god of poverty had that, but reconsidered that monsters might differ from humans. So she asked Little Zen if the god of poverty could offer any help since, hey, a god to god. She just wanted to see her mom one more time. After giving it some careful consideration, Little Zen agreed to lend a hand and chat about it. They headed to the sparkly site, and now it was all about the god of poverty's reaction. But after lending a hand, the god of poverty would stick to Xiao like glue. The entrance to hell. Well, that was a real surprise. The god of poverty just kicked her legs and vanished into that mysterious entrance. Everyone thought it was a bit odd, but followed suit. The scene was hilariously witnessed by a cockroach near the restroom, who eagerly spread the news to Jerry. Xiao's whereabouts seemed to be under constant surveillance, while the ones tracking Little Zen successfully made it to hell too. But upon arrival, Little Zen felt uneasy. To meet the departed, they had to cross the bridge right in front of them. Yet, when Xiao arrived in hell, instead of finding her mom, she shockingly stumbled upon her dad in a crippled state. Xiao was dumbfounded, and the god of poverty explained that he was in a half-alive state. Apparently, dealing with dad's debts was no walk. Eventually, spotted by a demon, they bolted, escaping back to the living world. But when sunlight hit, they were chased, with enraged demons hot on their heels. Hit that subscribe button, it'll keep these hilarious stories coming.